The fact that you want to keep that in is very telling about your editing.
That was gold.
Hello and welcome.
That's funnier than anything we do on purpose.
Hello and welcome to another episode. Look, there's a spider up there. Of Lexx Education, the comedy science podcast where comedian me, Laura Lexx, tries to learn science from her brother, glitter-faced Ron.
Listen to this, listener. That was a thump of a fat wad of cash hitting the mic because we did it, guys. The podcast has taken us to the stratosphere.
Why are you advertising that I've got cash, Ron? Now I have to declare it to HMRC.
I didn't say it was yours. I think people would more likely believe it was mine.
Ah! Rude.
No, you do own land.
Yeah.
I don't own any land.
I'm a bit sad because we had the roof fixed and the starlings have gone. I don't think they like the blowtorch.
No, it was very Viet Cong down the tunnels with the flamethrower. It wasn't conducive to starlings wanting to live there, I don't think. Anyway, hello listeners. How are you? Gosh, I don't even know how to describe the mood at our house right now. It's like exhausted feral. Yeah.
We've had quite a giddy weekend, so we've had lovely weather. It's been Charlotte the Podcast's birthday weekend.
She's a prick.
Oh, yeah. She's very newly 3 and wonderfully stubborn. What are you looking at?
Is that a massive daddy longlegs that's died around that light?
It's a normal-sized daddy longlegs.
Yeah, but it's got a really thick body.
Maybe it's not a daddy longlegs. Oh, no. I just ripped my sock open.
Again? Oh, no, that was your trousers before. Good, take a look at it.
As I say, there's a feral vibe to the weekend. Is that a fat body?
That's a really fat body.
It actually looks a bit more like a dragonfly type thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it is a daddy longlegs.
Oh. A beastie.
How are you, Ron? I know how you are. You've been here for a few days, having a lovely visit.
Yes, it's been a nice time, hasn't it?
It's been lovely.
Yeah.
It's been nice. We had a dippy dinner.
Dippy dinner.
You've got so much glitter very close to your eyes.
Yeah.
And if I like touching you, I'd get it out, but I don't want to touch you.
No. Ginger keeps trying to get it out of my eye, but then while we're having a conversation and I can't have both of those things going on at once.
You're very dressed like you're a convict right now in a double grey tracksuit situation.
We got back from Child of the Podcast's birthday party and I simply had to be comfortable.
Because you and girlfriend of the podcast, Judith, went drinking last night.
Yes.
You were merry? You had a nice time?
Yeah, I wasn't too drunk. I only had like one beer while we watched the comedy and then one after, so by the time
What did you have before then? Because you looked smashed.
Yeah, I know I did, but I wasn't that drunk.
What did you drink before the show?
4 pints.
Oh, so you'd had 5 pints by the time I saw you.
Yeah, but that's not loads.
That's quite a lot. They came to see me perform. I really lost my temper in the middle section. People were annoying me at the show.
Yeah. 2/3 good comedy?
Yep. Well, let's say 3/4. Let's include me, please, in the
Sure.
comedy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Absolutely love Paul F. Taylor. What a legend.
I think I really liked his stuff, but I think sometimes when there's, like he jokes halfway through like, oh, I've got ADHD, can you tell? Sometimes I find that style of comedy where it's just a series of disconnected one-liners really jarring.
Oh, I love it.
No, I'd love to see...
But then I think I've got ADHD, can you tell?
I think I'd love to see him do a set where there was a thread through it.
Oh, yeah. We'll go next time.
Yeah, like in Edinburgh or something.
He probably brings his tour to Hen and Chickens. Yeah. I feel very disconnected from the podcast at the moment.
We got ahead and then we've squandered it.
No, we haven't squandered it. We've only had 1 week off, I think.
Yeah, that's because I was here.
Maybe we had last week off too. No, we recorded last week.
Yeah, we just haven't recorded this week, and usually we don't take breaks.
No. But I was doing some perusing the other day, and I feel like a great weight was lifted from my shoulders because I happened to check the Apple Podcasts, and we've now had a review of each level of stars.
Oh.
And it just lifted, because like the pressure was on that we'd only ever had that one-star review, and then it was like everyone else loved it, and now we found a spread of people, and some
How
have
many
loved
reviews have we got? 5.
No, we got loads.
Okay.
We got loads. And even though we have one of each spread of stars, we're still 4.9 stars, which means the 5s are massive.
Yeah.
But it made the pressure come off, really, of going, some people won't like what we do.
We're still at 5 stars on Spotify.
Yeah, man. We're golden.
We're good at this.
Tea and cash. So, having said we're good at this, it's physics now.
We're good at podcasting slaps the microphone.
You have to sit through a physics lesson now. God,
I remember this
haven't
being
missed
pleasant.
these. Do you?
Was it not?
Oh, we tried to call it off 7 minutes in.
Yes, we do squabble. Yes.
Squabble up. We do squabble. And then, well, you'll hear. Enjoy.
I learned how to do, well, I finally got the courage to do proper squats. You know, like with a squat rack and a big stick on my back.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I like squats. Do you do straight leg or bent knee?
How do you squat with a straight leg?
You sort of... It's more of like a hinge at your hips.
Oh, like when they pick it up and just kind of to their knees, like a
You
deadlift.
sort of go up to your waist, yeah.
How's that a squat?
It's not a squat. I realise now. It's a deadlift. It's because you can do like a squat deadlift or a straight leg deadlift. Yeah, ignore me.
Call me fucking crazy, mate, but I bend my knees when I squat.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. That's fair and fine. Oh, it's going to be a good lesson, isn't it? Nah, that's not where my brain should be.
You
sounded like that Legolas in that meme. Gimli.
I think I've told you before, but one of my favourite memes with Lord of the Rings is that Frodo doesn't know Legolas's name. Because I think the piece of evidence that kicked it off is like right at the end after Frodo's thrown the ring into the mountain and stuff, and then he's like in the bed recovering, and then they all kind of walk in one after the other in slow motion. And he really, you can't hear anything, but he really visibly goes, Merry, Pippin, and then Gimli, and then Legolas walks in and he goes, huh? And then Aragorn walks in and he continues going, Aragorn! And then someone did a rewatch after noticing this and realised that Frodo never once says Legolas's name during the whole thing, and he's just a dude that was around. Yeah.
I wonder, I've never read the books. I wonder if that's like in the books.
I will. I'm listening to them now.
Yeah.
I've been listening to them for weeks and it's still just hobbits. They have yet to reach Bree, which is when they finally get introduced to Strider.
Yeah. In the Prancing Pony.
Yeah. God, I've been listening to it to fall asleep, and then the other day it got to the Tom Bombadil chapter, and I literally just had to turn it off because it's all singing.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is the Andy Serkis one, isn't it?
Yeah.
My personal trainer's also listening to this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's good. It is good. Welcome to Physics A-Level, Laura.
Oh, God.
We're going to do things right in A-Level.
Okay. What, we're going to burn physics to the ground and just jettison it off the back of a cruise ship?
No, but we're going to... They kind of do that themselves. It starts in one of our favourite places, 3.1, measurements and their errors.
Oh, I love errors. That's literally how we ended the graduation episode. 0 error, human error, being at the wrong angle on the thermometer error.
Yeah. And what we're going to do is we're going to rather than coming across a couple of concepts halfway through, not really having time to teach you them midway through a thing, and then us both just being frustrated at your lack of development as we go through the course, Let's just round off a couple of things. So 3.1.1 is about the use of SI units and their prefixes. One of the bits in here that it says we absolutely diddly doubles must know is standard form.
Okay.
So we're going to learn about standard form first, Laura.
Okay. This is the little tiny tens up the top and stuff.
The 10 is big. So
Okay.
So, standard form is just a way of writing either very big or very small numbers. Okay?
Yes.
It has a, surprise, surprise, a standard form, a standard way that you write it. So, what I need you to write down, Laura, is A, small a, we're doing some algebra now,
Okay.
times 10 to the power n.
Yep.
Okay? A is always going to be a number that is bigger than or equal to 1 and less than 10.
Right.
N can be any positive or negative whole number. Okay?
N is what?
N is any positive or negative whole number.
Okay.
Should say A can be positive or negative too.
Okay.
Okay, so if I said...
Well, surely if it's bigger than or equal to 1, then it can't be negative.
Why?
Well, how can you be bigger than 1 and a negative number?
Minus 2 is bigger than 1.
Is it?
It's bigger than it.
It's 3 less than it.
3 less, but it's bigger than 1.
So bigger doesn't mean higher.
Minus 2. 2 is bigger than 1.
Yeah, but minus 2, that's a bigger number than 1.
Well, if you think about the magnitude of it, yeah.
Is that how numbers work, though? I thought they just went in a line, and the further up you got, the bigger they are.
How would minus 1 million be bigger than 1?
That's what I'm saying.
How could that be the case? No, sorry, how could it be smaller than 1, I mean? Damn it! That's a huge number, it's just
Well,
minus.
then, if you're saying A is bigger than or equal to 1, that means nothing if it can go minus or plus.
Yeah, it can.
That's just all numbers then.
No, because 11 or minus 11 wouldn't work.
Well, that's where it's less than 10.
But 11's not less than 10.
What are you talking about? You said it would be bigger than or equal to 1, and now you've said it can be a minus number.
Yeah.
So all you're telling me there really is that it's not naught. A is not
No,
naught.
it's between 1 and 10, either minus or positive. Fucking hell, this is going to be a longie. Can't believe we got hung up here. It's between 1 and 10.
Right.
Either negative or positive.
Right.
Has that actually confused you? Or are you just trying to catch me out like some kind of rules lawyer?
I just think it's stupid.
Why is that stupid?
Because-
It's between 1 or 10 and it can be negative or positive.
Because suddenly your entire concept of numbers is flipped on its head, Ron.
How?
Because I've just found out minus 3 is a bigger number than 1.
Well, if you think about it, of
Yeah,
course.
and I've not thought about it before, because before it was under the earth and it was lower, so it was a smaller number, because it's a
Look.
smaller amount.
Buckle up, Bucko. This is A-level. We've got to think about negative
You
numbers.
can't tell me to buckle up and understand it instantly without asking. You said I could ask.
Yeah, but you're angry about it.
I'm not angry. I'm checking. Now I'm angry. Now I'm angry.
Look, I don't know if that's how anyone actually thinks about numbers, but it makes sense, doesn't it?
I don't know. I don't want to think about it too hard. I think I'll cry.
Minus 1,000,000, if you multiply something by minus 1,000,000, it's going to change loads. If you multiply something by 1, it doesn't change at all.
I suppose that what we're discussing here is the concept of bigger or greater.
Yeah.
Higher versus greater. Higher versus bigger, I suppose.
Yeah, well, they're all on a scale.
Lack of. Where I think I've always
I guess what we're talking about, Laura, is kind of vectors versus scalars.
I've always thought of bigger as meaning higher, and I think I've used bigger and higher interchangeably when that's probably not what I mean.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
So, what can you... do you know why we use standard form?
No, it just makes things tidier.
It does, yeah. Standard form means that no matter how big or small the number is, you can display it in the same number of digits, basically. So, for example, the width of an atom, we could say, is 1 times 10 to the minus 10 meters.
Right.
The width of a galaxy, we could say, is 9.5 times 10 to the 20 meters.
Okay.
Both numbers very, very different, but we haven't had to write out 30 zeros. We've been able to record it. And also, at a glance, you can start seeing the difference. I'm losing you. Focus up. What are you doing?
Oh, I was just closing down the printer software.
What were you printing?
Yesterday I was printing all the stuff I need for the Comedy Bureau tomorrow.
Oh, lovely.
That's my
Don't
little
advertise your other podcast on this one.
It's not coming out for months. Look at all my laminated stuff, Ron. I think I want to be a professional laminator. So nice laminating. You feed it in really slowly and then it comes out all warm and comforting.
The other thing that standard form makes it easy to do, Laura, is compare these numbers. So if I said 9.5 times 10 to the 20 and 9.5 times 10 to the 22, how many times bigger is the bigger one than the smaller one?
2.
No.
What did you say?
9.5 times 10 to the 20 and 9.5 times 10 to the 22.
What's the question?
How many times bigger is one than the other?
I'll refer you to my original answer of 2. No?
No, because 2 times 9.5...
20.
...is 19, isn't it? No, because 2 times 9.5 is 190, isn't it? The answer is 100. That's okay.
Why is it 100?
If you take 9.5 times 10 to the 20 and times it by 10, you get 9.5 times 10 to the 21.
Oh.
And if you did that again, you'd get 9.5 times 10 to the 22. If you times something by 10 twice, you've times it by 100.
Oh. Have you?
Yep.
Feels like you've times it by 20.
Yeah, because you're slow. But if you took 4 and you times it by 10, you'd get 40. And then if you times 40 by 10, you'd get 400. 4 times 100.
I guess it depends whether you're timesing it sequentially or at the same time.
No, it really doesn't.
Well, it does, because...
No,
Are
it
you
doesn't.
timesing it by 10 and then 10, or by 20?
You're never timesing it by 20.
But how was I supposed to know that?
Because no matter which way you do it, you get the same.
No, because 4 times 20 is 80.
Yeah, but why are you bringing 20 into it?
Because
4 times 16 is 64.
Because the difference, Ron, is 20. Because you're going from 20 to 22. So that's... You can see why I didn't break that into 2 sets of 10 multiplications.
No, that's fine. But if we use our 4 thing, where's 20 come into that? 4 times 10 times 10. Where's 20?
Because if you don't know to do 10 and then 10, and you just think, well, it's an increment of 20, it's 2 10s, then you'd multiply it by 20.
But why would you add the 10s together when I've asked you to do 4 times 10 times 10?
Because I didn't know that they were separate 10s when you were saying about 10 to the 20 or 10 to the 22.
No, but we're talking about 4 now. 4 times 10
No,
times
but I'm
10.
explaining how I got to the answer I've got to. I'm not being thick here. That is, unless you know that when that last digit goes up, that those increments of 10 happen separately. I don't think it's mad to have multiplied that by 20.
No, absolutely. That's why we're doing a lesson on standard form, so that you can learn all
Right,
of
well then
this.
stop behaving like, where did 20 come from? Why have you got 20?
Because we're talking about 4 times 10 times 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did 20 come from?
I fucking told you! I hate physics so much. The start to chemistry and biology has been so nice, and then physics comes in. It's a little snake. If this was Real Housewives, physics would be that fucking one that pretends to be so nice and then ruins every event. By the way, that's all of them.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do, Laura. We're going to learn a bit about powers of 10, because that's going to help us with our standard form, okay?
Right.
You know what the little number means, yeah?
That's how many times 10s there are.
Yeah. So, what is 10 to the power 1?
100.
No. Because it's how many times 10s there are. But we're not... So there's only 1 times 10.
So 10 times 10 is 100.
No, because we're not...
I want to walk away so much. I'm so angry.
What's 10 to the power 2? What's 10
I
squared?
don't know.
What's 10 squared?
I don't know.
What's 9
I
squared?
don't know.
What's 2 squared?
Don't know.
Laura?
No. Oh God, it's happening again, and it's going to take years.
Laura?
No.
Do you want to stop? What's 10 squared?
I don't know.
What does squared mean?
4 corners.
No. In maths.
I don't know.
All right, let's stop.
We can't. We've only done 17 minutes.
Yeah, but you're not doing it, so...
Well, then make me do it. Be nice.
What does squared mean in maths?
Multiply by itself.
Okay, so what's 10 squared?
100.
Yes. Okay, so 10 squared could also be written as 10 to the power 2. You need to be writing this down. Okay, so 10 to the power 2 is 100. What's 10 to the power 3?
1,000.
Mm-hmm. Write that down as well.
Stop using this tone.
Do you want me to be nice or not? This is all I've got in the tank for nice.
I hate physics so much.
Okay, what's 10 to the power 4?
10,000.
Write that one down as well.
I am!
All right.
If
Now-
you ask me what 10 to the 5 is, I'm just going to walk away, so don't do it.
No, what's 10 to the power 1?
10.
Yes.
Write that down.
Because you can think of all of this as you can have like a 1 times at the beginning of them. So 1 times 10 equals 10. 1 times 10 times 10 equals 100. 1 times 10 times 10 times 10 equals 1,000. You see?
Yeah.
Okay. Smashing. Okay, so can you please write down 87,000 in standard form?
So 87, 3.
What do you mean, sorry?
87 to the power 3.
No, because that would be, look at, we had A times...
87 times 10, 3.
Okay, but A has to be in between 1 and 10.
What's A got to do with anything?
You remember A times 10 to the power n?
Yeah. What's that?
So that's the format that we have to get something in to get it into standard form. So you're very, very close.
Oh, well, you didn't
but-
explain that.
I
Okay,
did.
so it'd be 8.7 times 10 to the 4.
Exactly, yes. Great. If we keep extrapolating, what do you think 10 to the power of 0 is?
1?
It is 1. Well done. What do you think 10 to the power minus 1 is?
Minus 1?
No, think about the difference between 10 and 1.
Minus
100
10.
No, think about the difference between 10 and 1, 110, 1,000 and 100.
What are we doing? 10 to the minus 1?
Yeah. The next one in the sequence, essentially.
Oh, I don't know.
What's the difference between 10 and 100? And what's the difference between 1,000? What are you doing to get from 100 to 1,000?
Multiplying by 10.
Okay, so what are we doing to get from 1,000 to 100?
Dividing by 10.
Yep, okay. So that's what we're doing when we're moving that way in the sequence. So what then is the next step from 1?
Divide it by 10.
Yep, so 10 to the minus 1 equals...
0.1.
Exactly. 10 to the minus 2?
0.01.
10 to the minus 3?
0.001.
Exactly. Yeah. So if I wanted to write down 0.0048 as in standard form, what would that be?
0.0048.
Yeah.
So we'd have to start with 4.8. Or it could be minus 4.8. I'm going to do it with 4.8. Seems more fun. And that is times 10 to the minus 3.
Very nice. Yeah, that's how you do small numbers as well. Before we move on, how do you feel about this?
Cross.
Why?
Is it stupid?
Why is it stupid?
I hate it.
If you need me to be nice and positive, you have to be nice and positive
Don't
as
ask
well.
me how I feel then. Say something nice and positive.
Do you
rather
understand
than how you
it?
feel. Yeah.
Why is this making you so cross?
Because I don't like not being able to do things. I
But you
don't
can
like
do this.
feeling stupid and belittled. I don't find it very interesting, and I know I'm going to forget it. So even though it makes sense now, I know in about 17 minutes the listeners will be listening to a quiz of me shouting.
Okay, but here's the thing. You got all of that right in the end. So
Yep.
you did work it out. You do get it. So why are you feeling stupid?
Because it won't stay in my head.
But why don't we act as if it will and have a bit of self-confidence and
Okay,
not just
I'll
forget
just lie
it?
to you then when you ask me how I feel. I feel marvellous, Ron, and I loved it.
Okay.
I feel like I'm eating a big bag of Marks and Spencer's crisps right now. See, physics makes us hate each other. Physics is the worst.
Yeah, I do hate you. So, the other thing that we need to be able to do with standard form is do sums between different numbers in standard form. Okay?
Okay.
when it comes to adding...
Exotic type mammals.
When it comes to adding and subtracting, there's not a fancy way to do it. You have to just calculate what the numbers actually are from standard form to normal, do the sum, and then calculate it back into standard form, basically.
So what you're saying, there's a gap in the market for a maths inventor to come up with a fancy way to do this.
So if I ask you to do 4.5 times 10 to the 4 plus 6.45 times 10 to the 6, what would the answer to that be?
There's something musical about 4.5 times 10 to the 4. Do you know what I mean? Sounds a bit like rap.
Yeah, it does sound like rap.
Is the answer 10.95 times 10 to the 10?
No, and you weren't listening to what I said before this.
No. I was trying to.
When it comes to adding and subtracting...
I think I was singing exotic type mammals.
Yes. When it comes to adding and subtracting, you have to calculate them into normal numbers, add them together, and then put it back into standard form.
Right.
So do that.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's got the monkeys. She's got the monkeys. Well, I make it 6.495 times 10 to the 6.
Absolutely correct.
Oh, well then, it did seem right.
Why did you think it didn't seem right?
I guess it's the scale of the thing, you know? Like, it doesn't feel like 6.45 times 10 to the 6 has changed that much in there. But it's sort of like that thing where it's like if you had £1 every day for 10 years, you'd be a millionaire and it'd take you a century to be a billionaire thing, you know? It's the scale of difference between 4.5 times 10 to the 4 and just making that 10 to the 6 changes it from 45,000 to 6 million. When you're multiplying in tens, things go up rapid.
They do, because the 4.5 times 10 to the 4 is a factor of 100 smaller than the other one. When things in standard form are at the same magnitude, you don't have to convert them to normal numbers before adding and subtracting them.
Right.
So, for example, if I asked you to do 3 times 10 to the 3 plus 5 times 10 to the 3, the answer to that is just 8 times 10 to the 3.
Yeah.
Because we're operating on the same scale. The only time that you have to be careful of that is if I ask you to do 6 times 10 to the 3, add 6 times 10 to the 3, you'd get 12 times 10 to the 3, which then wouldn't be in standard form. We'd have to do 1.2 times 10 to the 4.
Yeah, okay.
Has to always be between 1 and 10.
Yep.
Where standard form does save us time, though, when it comes to our sums, is when
you have to stop saying when it comes to, because every time you do it, my brain screams exotic type mammals and I lose focus.
Okay.
Change that phrase, please.
Where standard form does save us time is is when we do multiplication and division. Okay?
Okay.
Go back to your list of, 10 to the 2 equals 100, 10 to the 3 equals 1,000 and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. You can use a calculator for this, by the way. I don't expect you to
I have been, Ron.
Oh, great. Okay.
Who's
So,
talking to?
What do you mean?
You think I've been doing this in my head?
Oh,
Fucking idiot.
um,
You think I suddenly got smart in the last week?
So, if you could do 10,000 divided by 100 for me.
That's 100, Ron.
Yep. So what we've done there is we've done 10 to the power 4 divided by 10 to the power 2. And what's that equaled in 10 to the powers of?
10 to the power 4 divided by 10 to the power 2 equals 10 to the 1.
No, because it equaled 100, didn't it?
Oh, 10 to the 2, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can just divide the small numbers.
Actually, well, no, you add and subtract them. Sorry, I
Oh.
used the confused. So do 100,000, which is 10 to the power 5, and 10 to the power 3, which is 1,000,
Hang on, sorry. So 100,000.
divided by 1,000. Which actually, when you say it like that, it's very obvious that equals 100.
That also equals 100, Ron.
So
So
5 minus 3
10
equals
to the
2.
4. Wait, sorry, 100,000. 10 to the 5 divided by 10 to the 3. 5 minus 2 equals 10 to the 2. 10 to the 3.
No,
10
10 to the 2. Yeah, because you've done 10 to the power 5 divided by 10 to the power 3. So you subtract 3 from 5, you get 10 to the power 2, which is 100.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm going to ask you to do this next one in your head, okay?
Okay.
I want you to be the biggest sum you've ever done. I want you to divide 10 to the power 100 by 10 to the power 98.
100.
Well done. Okay, so this part of the maths doesn't change at all when we're doing multiplication and dividing of things in standard form. So, if I asked you to work out 3 times 10 to the power 3 times 3 times 10 to the power 3, we can just multiply the number that's in place of A together. So 3 times 3 equals 9. And then the 10's there, 10 to the power 3 and 10 to the power 3. We just add those together. So we get 10 to the power 6.
Yeah.
And then so we get 9 times 10 to the power 6.
Yeah.
So I'll get you to do 4 times 10 to the power 5
Yeah.
multiplied by 2 times 10 to the power 7.
2 times 10 to the minus 2.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where standard form actually comes in use, is
Yeah.
because it makes you can do, can you imagine trying to do that sum not in standard form in your head?
No.
But you can now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why standard form's really useful, as well as all of the other reasons I mentioned at the top of the episode. The part of it that's quite related to this that I think is maybe worth doing, and you can shoot me down if you don't think so, is that at this point it wants us to understand all of the prefixes that we use against units. So like kilo, mega, micro.
Oh, okay. Can we leave that so I can do it on a different page? Because this page is very standard for me.
But we're going to represent these in standard form.
Oh, all right then.
That's kind of the point.
Okay.
So let's do it with one that you let's just use meters at first, okay?
Okay.
So how many
Listen up, America. I will be putting the R before the E.
and we'll also be using miles. So
I think Americans use miles.
Yeah, listen up, Europe.
Yeah, we'll be using miles.
We'll be spelling meters correctly, but not using them. So when we're getting bigger than that, the next one up is kilo. How many meters are in a kilometer?
That would be 10 to the 2, Ron. 10 to the 3, Ron.
10 to the 3, exactly. That was going to be my next question. Okay. Do you know what's bigger than kilo?
Megalo.
Mega. Yeah.
That was half right.
So kilo we represent with a small k. Mega we represent with a big M. So do you know how many meters are in a
We actually
megameter?
call that a muffa mummy in my house.
Sorry, a muffa mummy. Do you know how many meters are in a megameter?
No.
It's the same relationship as meters to kilometers. So, by that, you can work out that there are 10 to the 3 kilometers in a megameter.
So 10 to the 6.
Yes, Laura. Very nice. Yeah, 10 to the 6 megameters. Meters in a megameter. Do you know what comes after mega? Think bytes.
Giga.
Giga, exactly. How many meters are in a gigabyte? How many meters are in a gigameter?
10 to the 9?
Exactly. Very good.
How do you say? Is that a big G?
Yeah, big G for giga. And then the last one, do you know what's bigger than giga?
Triller.
No, tera.
Tera.
Ever had
that's
a
it.
terabyte hard
I've
drive?
got a terabyte
Yeah.
hard drive.
How many meters do you think in a terameter?
10 to the 12.
Exactly. And this is the same for anything. So like if we were talking about joules, there are 10 to the 3 joules in a kilojoule, 10 to the 6 joules in a megajoule. And what this also, now because we understand standard form, we can really easily say how many megajoules are in a terajoule.
Yeah.
It's 10 to the 6, because you're just subtracting these really small numbers next to the 10. You don't have to do any multiplication in your head.
So a tera to a giga is 10 to the 3.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, 10 to the minus 3 if you're going that way. But
Yeah,
yes, that's
sure,
the difference
yeah.
between them. Yeah, 100%. Okay. Do you know any of the units as things start getting smaller? The first two you definitely heard of.
Nano.
Yep, nano's the second one.
Milli? Centi.
Yes. So centi I was avoiding because it doesn't quite fit in this scale.
Right.
Because everything else is thousands, centi is hundreds. Yeah. So in standard form, how many centimeters are there in a meter?
100. 10 to the 2.
Yes. But that's how many centimeters are in a meter. We're going the other way, if that makes sense.
Oh, 10 to the minus 2.
Exactly. Yeah. And then absolutely, then it's millimeters. So that's the first sort of proper one, if you like, on the scale that we've been using. So that one is 10 to the minus 3.
How? What's the symbol for a millimeter? Mm.
Yes, 2 small m's. Apologies, nano is actually the third one. There's one in between.
That's 10 to the minus 3, yeah?
Yep. Yeah, milli is 10 to the minus 3. Then there's one in between milli and nano.
NM?
It would be nm, yep, for nanometers. Before we work out the one in between, and I tell you what that is, can you tell me what the standard form for the nano is?
10 to the minus 6?
No, because there's one in between.
Oh, 10 to the minus 9.
Yup. So the one that's in between milli and nano is micro.
Okay.
And what we use for micro is a Greek letter called mu.
Mewtwo.
Which I will send you on WhatsApp. It looks kind of like a U had sex with a P and they had a baby. Like a U with a tail.
Oh, yeah. Or like a U that's committed a murder and had a teardrop tattooed underneath it.
Exactly. So that's 10 times 10 to the minus 6. And then there's 2 more getting smaller that you wouldn't have heard of, I think. Then after nano, we have picometers.
Aw.
It's just a little p.
10 to the minus 12?
Yep. And then after pico, we have femto.
Oh, these are adorable.
Femtometers, 10 to the minus 10 to the minus 15.
What do you do for a femtometer?
Just a little F.
Starts to get a bit musical down there, doesn't it? Because you've got piano and forte.
Nano, pico, femto.
No, but I mean with the P and the F, those are like musical things too.
Yeah. And we'll leave it there.
Yeah. Okay.
You pulled it round, Laura. That was really impressive by the end.
And at the beginning.
Yeah, not in the middle.
No, the middle was a blip.
And actually, not at the beginning. It started out quite aggro.
Bye, Ron.
Okay, Howard, let's do this.
Why did you call me Howard?
Ron Howard. Ron. I feel weird. I feel a bit dizzy and tired and like I'm on a slope.
A bit dose of dizzy.
I think I'm a bit dizzy. Ron and I just went for doses. We didn't know what doses. We sort of did. Why did that man have an empty one?
Because I think the dose is the pancake, and then, like, I think he kind of, like, went to the Mexican restaurant and just ordered a plain tortilla as kind of the equivalent.
Yeah.
It was good.
I loved it. But...
You loved that curry. I thought it tasted a lot like cloves.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Maybe I love cloves.
You might love cloves. Laura's revising. You ready?
Well, no. My chair is sliding away. I feel small. I'm tired.
Christ God. We've got what I already said might be a bloodbath record right after this. Laura, convert 80...
Oh, that's good, because I thought you meant the quiz might be a bloodbath.
This will definitely be a bloodbath. The other bit might be.
Okay.
Laura, can you please convert 80,000 millijoules into kilojoules?
Oh, fucking hell. Can I write down?
Yeah. You just can't look at your notes.
Let me just flick to a blank page. Quickly. I need to flick to a blank. Stop pulling that weird face you started pulling. I hate it. No, I can't write in the back.
This is where you do quizzes.
No, I did quizzes in the front.
Upside down from the back.
That's horrible. You can't upside down and back in a book.
Yeah, you can look, because then
I
it's just
won't
like
do
the
it.
front.
I won't do it.
Then you need a new book.
I haven't got a new book.
All right, then hang on. Let me skip you to this page.
Okay.
I'm gonna punch you in the knee if I see you going backwards or trying to look through the paper.
That feels so weird. Right, what was it? 80,000 millijoules.
Converted into
Do you know what? Millie Bobby Brown.
kilojoules.
How she put her on the list for young people, Ron. She's young.
She is young. She's probably in her early 20s.
Yeah. Write her down so that we remember she
That's not how the
exists.
game works.
No, but we have to stock up on young people.
You just have to remember, but we don't have that many shots.
80,000 millijoules to what now?
Kilojoules.
To kilojoules. Oh, and
Don't worry, that's just the streets of Leicester.
I thought it was a baby.
I heard there's gonna be a baby. one of the quotes that lives rent free in my head.
So, let me think. What's that from?
Arrested Development. Buster says it. I think when Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character pretends to be pregnant.
No, it's my laptop's turn to keep turning onto a screensaver. So, 80,000 millijoules would be 8,000... I've written centimetres, but let's call them centijoules. Oh, but was joules the one that was giggity? We can't think about that now. And then, let's make it 800 kilojoules.
Final answer?
Yep.
No.
Oh.
It's 0.08.
Oh, that's very wrong.
Yeah.
No.
Because there's 1,000 times in between millijoules and joules.
Oh, I forgot about joules.
And then there's 1,000 times in between joules and kilojoules.
So it was the one that was giggity.
I don't know what you mean by giggity.
Neither do I.
Because it works the same with everything.
Need some chocolate.
Laura, what's 6 terawatts in standard form?
6 terawatts. What do we think a terawatt might be? going to be bigger than a killer. My hands smell like dosa. I wash them with shampoo because there's no soap in the bath.
Yeah, there is no soap in the bathroom.
But now they smell like floral dosa. It's horrible. It's the trouble with having such hairy fingers. There's a smell where it gets trapped in them. And
Yesterday you were lamenting that Blake Lively had more things than you.
What's that got to do with anything?
I just think Blake Lively's never sat in a hotel room in Leicester and smelled her fragrant hairy knuckles.
She's never had to. She probably wouldn't if she had to, but these are the lengths I'm willing to go to.
Stop looking at your claws. Work out the question.
I don't know how to. This all makes so much
Why don't you
sense.
write down all of the different prefixes that you can remember in order?
I can't do that because you wouldn't let me revise.
You could have revised at any point. It's been weeks.
Milli, centi, kilo, terra,
Write them
mega.
down.
Mega.
Why are you writing them down there in between other words? That's fucking insane.
But then, standard form was that other thing with the times 10 to the business.
Yeah. Remember we linked them.
Did we?
Yeah.
Let's say 6 times 10 to the 10.
Final answer?
Yes.
No.
Damn.
6 times 10 to the 12.
Oh, I was very close.
Because it all works in thousands, doesn't
Yeah.
it? So that number would be a multiple of 3.
What?
Well, 1,000 is 10 to the 3. 1,000 times 1,000 is 10 to the 6. 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000 is 10 to the 9. 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000 is 10 to the 12.
Yeah.
Always a multiple of 3. Laura, what is 5 times 10 to the 18 divided by 2.5 times 10 to the 6? No calculators.
5 times 10 to the 18 divided by 5,
2.5
2.5
times 10 to the 6.
times 10 to the 6. Now, I'm going to treat the left side normals. So I'm going to say 2 times 10 to the 12. I'm going to take 6 away from 18.
That's absolutely correct.
Yes, okay, that bit stayed in my bonds.
Standard form stayed in, and arguably that's the more important bit, so that's good.
Great, let's stop the quiz here.
The next bit you're going to do really bad on. I thought you might have remembered more of this. What are the 2 prefixes either side of nano? What symbol would you use for them? And what standard form power would you associate with them?
Nano. Sort of small. So I'm going to say micro on one side. And what could we put on the other side of nano? Grandado? Tick. No, he doesn't like it. Super nano. Nano. Micro's bigger than nano. Okay, let's think about the other part of the question. Weight. Who was that cute little bug? Not Pato the duck. There was a little one.
It's like a really shit oracle at Delphi.
Peaky? Peaky? Peaky the duck? I think of Peaky. Peaky. Peaky? I don't know. Peaky doesn't sound right. There wouldn't be a Y. They've all been I's. Peaky? Peaky. Maybe it was Peaky with an I. Peaky?
Have they all been eyes?
No, those are O's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Pico? Pico? It's not peaky, is it? Fucking. What's the middle bit? Threes. Did you see? Minus 10 to the minus 3 for micro, 10 to the minus 6 for nano, and
Does that make any sense?
to the minus 9 for peakies.
So if you're working from meters, is a micrometer the first one?
I don't know, Ron. No, centimetre. So that would be...
Don't worry about centimeter. Get a centimeter out of there.
I don't know then.
Okay, carry on then.
I'm done.
Okay, and what symbol would you use for these?
A nano... Oh, it was like a little pea with a tail or something. And then peaky, I'm going to do some eyes peering over a wall. Don't know the answers.
And what was nano?
This like roundabout
What was
system.
micro and then?
Micro is some binoculars.
Right.
Don't know.
Okay. So 1 out of 8.
Damn.
Correct.
What did I get right?
Micro.
Yes. Is nano not right?
I gave you nano. That was that was sort of the core of the question.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So micro is 10 to the minus 6.
Damn.
Because you forgot about milli, even though we used it before.
Oh yeah.
So milli would be 10 to the minus 3. Micro is represented by a mu, which is a U with a tail.
Oh.
Yeah, not like that. The tail's on the other side. I think it just goes straight down. Yeah, like that. That's a mu. Then nano is represented just by a little n, not a p roundabout system. That's 10 to the minus 9. And then you have pico, which you said but didn't lock in.
I did.
He's
peeking.
Yeah,
He's peeking over the wall.
Yeah, you went with peaky in there.
Oh, come on.
Right, you can have a half for that one.
Thanks, Ron.
Have a half. And that's 10 to the minus 12, isn't it?
And what's he doing? Peeking over the wall?
Just a little pea.
Just a little pea.
Yeah, just a baby pea.
Well, I'll petition to change them to my ones.
Alright, let's breeze through this. What are the two prefixes on either side of mega? What symbol would you use for them, and what standard form power would you associate with them?
Mega. Well, let's guess Terra. And...
This
Oh, wait, no, Giga. Giga. Megabyte, gigabyte. Terabyte is my hard drive, and that's big. So Giga, which, let's keep it simple, stupid. We'll go little g. Mega, we're going to go a little m. Megameter. Kilometer next to a megameter? Could be. Yeah, I'm going to put... What? And that's a km.
You've heard of a kilobyte?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? I have heard of a kilobyte.
It's just really funny that you went to kilometer, megameter, and assume you've never heard of a megameter.
No.
So you're just trying to make sense of just something. It's like a dog trying to work out what lasagna is. And then, but for mega and giga, you use bytes, which you understand, but then you switch to a different metaphor for the other one, even though you understand kilobytes, megabytes, and gigabytes.
Yeah. I'm going to go 10 to the 3 for kilo, 10 to the 6 for mega, 10 to the 9 for giga.
6 out of 8.
Happy!
Yeah.
Kilometers right, did I get the symbols for mega and giga wrong?
Yes. Big M, big G.
Damn.
Because little m's for millimeters, isn't it? Milli.
Oh, I thought that was M.
What? Say that again, because I think it was really thick. You thought the symbol for millimeters was mm.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
1 m for
Oh,
meters,
for
1 m for
meters.
milli.
They have the same M for meters and millis?
Yep.
That's stupid.
Okay. 8.5 out of 19.
Well, at least it's over. Up to my best.
We clawed it back.
Yeah, it comes back. Yeah, we were
It was
cross.
like we were fighting on the edge of a cliff and then realised we had something in common and came back to, oh, I'm really wet. My stomach is soaking wet.
Yeah, you sat with your child. She probably pissed on you.
I think it's washing up residue. I'm so small. Gets on me. What are we talking about? I've eaten so many of those Maltesers.
I ate so many sandwiches.
Did you?
Yeah.
Ron so we had Child of the Podcast birthday party today, and Ron sort of set him up as the buffet bartender. Just stood behind it and were you charging one of the kids for food?
He came over and said, I'm not paying for this. And then I said, £10. And then we had banter about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a rad dude.
Yeah, he's funny.
That was a good party. I regret getting the stripper.
But you married him.
And that Woody costume.
Do you remember when I was a kid, I once dressed up as Dopey for a birthday party?
You're so cute.
I wanted a picture of it to show Judith because we were watching Snow White yesterday, but Mum just couldn't remember it.
Oh yeah, no, there's pictures of it. Too.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
clearly. Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
I know the picture.
Yeah. That was golden. I really remember a party too where youngest sister of the podcast, Meg, had Postman Pat come to the party.
I've seen pictures of
I
that.
remember crying because I'd never had a person at one of my birthday parties, and then pulling myself together and going back out there.
We were watching Snow White, and then I said to Judith, like, when Dopey came on, I was like, that's what they used to say I looked like when I was a kid. It's just like, she didn't laugh. She went like, oh. It's like, oh, yeah. Don't talk about the past.
No, we called you the dude for a large portion of
You
your
called
childhood.
me Acorn Head.
Acorn Head was your nickname, but I don't think we referred to you as Cameron for most of your childhood. You were the dude.
I don't remember being called the dude.
Do you not?
I remember being called Dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm the dude. Where's the dude?
That must have been what you said to each other.
Hi, dude. We would call you dude to your face, but
Yeah.
the dude was how we referred to you.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Mum wonders why I never had a connection with the name Cameron.
It was a stupid name.
I never liked it.
I was mad about it at the time because they were saying they were going to call you Alexander.
Yeah.
And I was all geared up for that. And then hopped up on birth pain meds. She was like, we're going to call him Cameron. The only Cameron I knew was Cameron Hancock from school, who I did not care for. And I was so livid that we'd waited fucking ages for this kid. We had to keep walking the dog because Mum was pregnant. And then you were here and you had a shit name.
There was another Cameron at secondary school. Cameron Gosby.
Gosby.
Yeah, he was a Gosby. And then I went to college and there was another kid called Cameron. Everyone called him Other Cameron.
Yeah.
I won.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, then we shortened it to OC, and then that kind of became cooler.
That is cool.
Yeah. But then I switched to Ron.
You switched to Ron like late in the game, didn't you? Wasn't that a uni thing?
It started at college because one friend group called me Ron, but like my school friends still called me Cameron. And then when I went to uni, just everyone, it was Ron.
I like Ron.
I like Ron too. A friend of ours has named their baby Ron, and I was really like happy with that because obviously they've not named their child after me, but I haven't put them off the name.
Yeah,
and that's good. Yeah.
None of my friends have kids called Laura. It's dreadful.
Your husband's car AI is called Laura.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
That's because...
he has no choice in it, but that's annoying.
Well, but it... Yeah. With our profound squabbly apologies, here is a thank you to Pete Stanton, who should never have had to put up with what we put him through in the register last week. Pete Stanton is Richard III. They thought they found his... I'll edit that out. Bones in a car park in Leicester. They didn't.
Start again, because we can't say to Pete, sorry, mate, that we didn't give you a good thank you, and then fart during it twice now.
That was a stomach creak.
No, sorry.
They line up
Reloading.
in the chamber. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay. Pete Stanton. Well, thank you next week, Pete. Pete Stanton is Richard III. They thought they found his bones in a car park in Leicester. They didn't, because his bones are where Pete's bones should be. Richard's bones aren't in a car park, they're in a flesh park. A flesh park called Pete Stanton. Pete is a meat coating on Richard's royal bones. Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Pete. See, wasn't that good that we got all of that out?
Wow. Wow, that was intense. Thank you, Pete.
Pete Stanton, the flesh park.
Flesh park. Woo. All right, next week it's biology round 2. Here we go. We're singing and swinging now. That's a phrase.
Class dismissed.
Whoa, Speedy. No more banter.
No more
Thanks,
banter.
Pete, and fuck off.